This interview is a paid advertisement. It was produced on behalf of the company and is considered investor relations activity under Canadian securities law. All statements and opinions are those of the guest and should not be construed as investment advice. Please do your own due diligence or consult a registered investment advisor. Hello and welcome back to the Gold Newsletter channel. We are in New Orleans. We're at the New Orleans Investment Conference, hosted by our co-host of this channel, Brien Lundin. My name is Kai Hoffmann. I'm the @JR Mining Guy over on X, and of course, your co-host of this channel as well. And I'm joined by Alexandra with your Sherron. She's the president and CEO over at Empress Royalty. Alex, it's great to have you back on the program.
Great to see you. It's been such a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
We just talked about it. It's been about a year and a half since we've done this officially.
Yeah,
meaning
exactly.
recording something actually.
Yeah.
It's good to catch up. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
We have a lot of new followers and subscribers, of course, on the channel. Maybe we'll start with a 30,000-foot view. Okay. Who is Empress?
We are a royalty and streaming creation company. Essentially what that means is we invest directly into mining companies, and then we get a stream or a royalty for that investment. And so we launched the company about 4.5 years ago, almost 5. And now we're cash flow positive and generating significant revenue.
Fantastic, awesome. Like cash flow generation, royalty and streaming creation is a new term. Like we got to dive deeper on it a little bit. How do you approach that?
Yeah, so there's different types of royalty and streaming companies. The royalties started back in the medieval days with the kings owning the land. Someone would mine it and they would take a royal right on that. And then it evolved with Franco-Nevada in the 80s, and then in 2004, Wheat and Precious Metals started the streaming concept. So royalties where we take a percentage of the production, and a stream is where we invest and we get it to be able to buy gold or silver in our case at a deeply discounted price. So we get it at 20% of spots, we're getting an 80% discount on that gold and silver.
Fantastic. Now, you have, 17 royalties and streams already in the portfolio?
We do, yeah. Basically, there's 4 that we focus on, and those are our producing assets. We've got 4 producing mines now that feed us gold and silver from their production.
Awesome. Before we talk about those, run us a bit through the creation process itself. Like, how do you filter companies out? How do you identify potential target?
Yeah, so there's different types of royalty companies, and we'll come into how we focus on them. There's prospect generators, early stage, inexpensive to acquire, but don't always turn into a mine. Then there's a bunch of groups buying existing third-party royalties, typically paying a premium, no direct relationship with the company. So we directly invest into mining companies, so we get monthly reporting, we get to see their whole mine plan, we get to go to site, very much close to the companies. Our process for looking at it, we have sort of a criteria, gold and silver only. We want producers or near-term producers. We invest between $5 to $25 million, and that's where we really saw a gap in the market that wasn't being filled, and we fill that. And we're also geographically open, so we're looking at Africa, South America. We've looked at some in Asia. We haven't completed any of those ones, but we've looked globally in terms of our approach. When we find the right opportunity, it really comes down to the people. And through our partnership with Endeavor Financial and through our management and board, we have an extensive network of people that need the financing. So we identify an opportunity, we look at their mine plan, we do a desktop review. We're very fortunate to have David Lang, who's our technical advisor, look at these projects. And if it makes sense and we think their mine plan's viable or their expansion plan is viable, then we sign a term sheet, we agree on the economics, and then we do a deep dive through third-party engineering groups who bring in to do that review of the projects. And if it gets a clean bill of health, then we'll advance into legal duty, ESG review, and then into hopefully come into the portfolio.
The market has changed significantly the last year and a half since we last spoke, right? We're at $4,000 gold. Money is easier to come by. Like, what's your USP a little bit for those companies? Why should they be working with you? Yeah,
so we look at a lot of private companies who don't have access to the equity markets, who don't want to take on more debt. We're also seeing a lot of companies that are doing restarts of projects. So, in that case, a lot of them have been doing a lot of exploration work, have really, unfortunately, had to dilute their shareholders over the last couple of years, who want that money just to get going again on a small scale, do some more exploration work, prove it further out, and create a bigger mine. And that's another great example of what we're seeing. So, we're doing deep dives in a couple at the moment, but they have to technically stack up for them to come into the portfolio.
No, fantastic. Let's talk about the 4 flagship royalties here. Run us a bit through them. How did you acquire them? And what can we expect in terms of cash flow?
Yeah, so we did $8 million US in revenue on those 4 initial investments we made. One of our first ones was the Talahueto mine in Durango, Mexico, owned by Luca Mining. and we've got 100% silver stream, or 100% of their silver we take as a silver stream. We invested $5 million, and we've close to receiving about $7 million to date we've received back from that investment, with a lot more room to grow on that one. That was one where there was some debt, some equity. We came in with the stream. We did another one in Peru, owned by a group called Sierra Sun Group. This is a private company. They wanted to take advantage of the commodity prices and then expand their mills. They went from 750 tons to 1,000 tons per day, and the money we provided them, allowing them to do that and to get in some new parts of their deposit. We invested $10 million. We've received close to 6 back from that investment to date. We did one in Mozambique called the Manica Mine. That was a half-built plant. We gave them $3 million. That allowed them to finish off their plant. That originally had a 3-year mine life, and they've been in production now for 3 years. We've already got close to 7 back on that one as well, and that one's got a lot. They've picked up some new deposits, so that's going to run a lot longer. We have one, our most recent deal, which is the Galaxy Mine, owned by another public company called Golconda. They had a beautiful mill. They needed to get some new underground equipment to be able to extract the ore and to feed the mill, and they're doing that now, so that should start ramping up. So, we've got the stabilization with Sierra and with Manica. We've got Talahueros ramping up and getting more production, more silver coming out of that, and even more will start to come from Galaxy. So that's why this year we're forecasting between 14 and 15 million US, and should increase even further next year with those ones coming in.
Fantastic. What's the market cap in relationship?
Our market cap right now is about 70 million US, or $100 million Canadian. So with the revenue coming in, the new numbers coming out, we should see more increase in that. It's about $90 million in revenue over the next 5 years, just from what we've done to date. Yeah. But I really want to grow the portfolio out for the right investments and bring some new cash coming in.
So where do you see growth going? Like, what's the opportunity? What's left? Like, I know I mentioned the price environment, I'm sure competition, and the royalty space is not getting easier either.
Yeah, right? Well, it's a lot of consolidation happening in the royalty space right now. So everyone's sort of busy with that, which also gives us a lot of opportunity to be able to deploy the capital we have. We've got a $20 million debt facility from Nabari, or 28.5, but I've got 20 million left on that to deploy. We're also sitting in about, I think officially it's $4 million US as of June 30th, but obviously we've been accumulating a lot more gold and silver. We're starting to hold gold and silver now, and then we'll be able to reinvest that in the opportunities that we're working on now. So it's our revenue increasing through our existing portfolio, increasing their production, and then it's also bringing new investments into the portfolio. So I'm excited to hopefully announce some of those soon.
I was going to say, are we going to see a new acquisition by the year end?
We're working very hard. I am not going to get ahead of ourselves, but it seems to be at Empress, we seem to do a lot all at once. So we'll see which ones get to the finish line. I'm trying to put you on the spot here. I know. I wish. So we'll see. We're working very hard in the background to hopefully bring some new stuff into the portfolio.
Fantastic. A lot of new money coming into the royalty space as well. Like Tether, like it's not a secret, making big waves. How's that impacting you? Are you seeing anything?
I think it's bringing new investors to the space overall and recognizing what's going on, and they're definitely doing a lot of consolidation right now. So we've just got our heads down working on the deals, and we'll see what happens.
Polishing the slide deck.
Yeah, exactly. Working hard and getting some new deals. So we're looking at a lot of interesting projects.
Yeah. No, fantastic, awesome, Alex. I think we've touched a lot. We've covered a lot of ground already. I feel like we just ran through our interview here. Anything we forgot? Anything we should mention? Any near-term catalysts besides potential acquisitions?
New acquisitions. Our financials will be out again, demonstrating we're delivering on what we said. A lot more to come from us. There's a lot more growth coming. Being able to accumulate cash ourselves now in gold and silver, and having cash on hand that we can now finally reinvest in the portfolio, being cash flow positive, net income. These are all milestones that's taken us 4.5 years to get to, which I'm very proud of the team as well of getting here. And so now it's that point where we need to get the critical mass going and really grow Empress into what we can be.
No, phenomenal. It takes some big picture thinking to stick it out, right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's great to see you every time.
So
we see each other quite often, actually.
Yes, no, it's nice to connect it properly and be able to share with the audience.
Record it all and do it properly. So awesome to see you. Thank you so much. And to everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in here to the Gold Newsletter from the New Orleans Investment Conference. Hope you enjoyed the conversation here with Alex, with your Sherron of Empress Royalty. And hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with more. Take care out there.